Hi everybody, welcome to this Expert Division qualifying round guide video for the North Carolina 9-hole Cup here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. We've got plenty of drops here with tournament wins for you. Please give me a thumb up and subscribe to the channel as well. Help me get to 20,000 subs. It would be greatly appreciated and it does help me out. Like I said, loads of drops and some suggested tweaks along the way for anything I didn't quite drop. Now, we've got you covered for Expert Division here for qualifying and final round. If you're playing Master Division, it is totally free to enter, and two of the leading guide teams are sharing free qualifying round text guides. That is Golf Clash Tommy and Boris Banco. They will post their guides for free on our Facebook group. So if you're playing Master, go over there and make use of those brilliant free text guides. In the meantime, let's get started here in Expert with hole number 1. On hole number 1, we're going to play from the P3 minimum distance line. We're playing with 4 backspin and 3 bars side spin to the left. Once you've added your spin, find the position there with the ball guide pointing to the hole, and you'll see there the top of the yellow ring is pretty much on the rough line. But look at the ball guide as your reference with your spin added. Pack the grizzly so you can find a nice minimum distance line to push back against. I've dropped this in higher winds than 8 miles an hour as well, so I don't really think you're going to need a wind 4 ball unless, of course, you want to use one. We're using a simple 1-to-1 adjustment here, so 7.8 in wind. I'm going to adjust this one at 7.8 rings with our sniper. Going to hit perfect there. And this is pretty much the middle angle. May need a tweak or two if you get a few degrees either side, but still a very good chance for a drop. Bouncing nicely before the rough, over onto the green, and we're dropping it right at pin for the hole in 1. Now with this wind angle, you can play aggressively with a berserker if you like, but I'm going to show you a kingmaker shot instead. At the top of +10 with APOC 5 and above before spin, second bounce just before that part of the tree shadow there, and then we're going to add spin. 5.8 top spin, 3 left spin. With APOC 4, you would be setting up before spin, of course, at P3 max distance. Then we adjust max +10, power 3 settings. For me, that is going to be 6.6 rings. Time to take our shot. We're going with a 0.8 ball curl to the left. So look at the right-hand edge of the kingmaker touching the inside wall of the adjustment ring, and it's just before the circle drops as our overpower reference there with our curl. Bouncing nicely in the middle of the fairway, and we're going to get a nice roll out here, and it's going to be in the region of 370 yards. Second shot, I'm showing you a rough check there of +2 in case you haven't got landing position, but here I'm going to give you a landing position reference. So we're going to add about half a bar of top spin, may vary depending on your drive, and we're setting up with the ball guide going over the left edge of the cup and the top of the yellow ring touching the rough. For a landing position of +1 or a rough check of +2, then we're going to play 82% slider, -5% elevation. This is a tweak because I just missed this one. So I'm giving you an adjusted value, but it should get you pretty much in. Very good chance with the rough bump. Like I say, if you don't fancy that, you can go with a berserker and try and get yourself into wedge range. But the tweak that I've suggested there will get you in for the eagle. Right, the very long par 5 now. We're going with the berserker. We're going with 5.8 top spin. Use a bit more if you want to, but we're stretching out with spin added and having the ball guide pointing down the middle of the fairway. Then we are going to adjust max +10 power 5 settings. Then I do this in 2. I do 5 rings to begin with, then I push the others because the edge of the bunker might well get in the way. So if you think you've got time to do that in your shot timer, then you should do that for accuracy. But if not, you may have to just cope with a bit of a glitchy pull on the bunker edge. Push back up to max after adjusting, and then it's full OP, full shaky needle unfortunately, but we want to use a wind 1 or a wind 0 ball to get the distance. APOC 4, of course, you're going to have to go with max distance. The alternative is, if you've got APOC 4, you try and go with extra mile 9, in which case a great ball should still be safe. There's plenty of fairway. You want to be around 440 yards. Second shot, we're going with a wood club with distance, and we're playing with 4 topspin only and 2 left spin. That's because I want to go with full overpower and clear the rough directly, rather than full topspin, pushing up to max, and then relying on a good rollout from the rough. So max plus 10, P5, stretching out with my spin as shown. Might need to vary the topspin depending on your drive, but this is something to work from. Full OP, slower needle, and we just clear the rough there and roll onto the green. Maybe another half a bar of topspin, but we're still putting for an eagle on this very long par 5. Here we are going to drive with the APOC and a Kingmaker. With APOC 5 plus, we want the white ring touching the rough on the right. That will be with APOC 5 and 6 at the top of plus 10. 5 top spin and 3 right spin. APOC 4, you will have half of the white ring overlapping the rough at P3 max. APOC 7 and 8 will have a small gap there because of a more accurate club. Max plus 0 is the adjustment, and then we're going with full overpower and 2 1/4 ball curl to the right. So look at the tee. If you're drawing a line down from the tee, it would be into the top tip of that triangle. Full overpower, slower needle, and hit perfect there, bouncing nicely away from the bunker and along the next piece of fairway. Drive distance here is going to be in the region of 395 yards. Second shot, make a blue ring fringe check, BFC on the notepad, plus 3 with the Grizzly 9 there, where the blue ring touches the beginning of the fringe with the ball guide in line with the pin. Then we add 3 backspin, 1 left spin, and find our position here. It's going to be around this point. You may be able to have the white ring touching the rough, but the focus is on the ball guide. You want the ball guide to be going to the front of the cup. For a plus 3 blue ring fringe check with Grizzly 9, that will be plus 6 with Grizzly 7 and 8. We're going to play 68% slider, 25% elevation. Use Grizzly 9 numbers regardless of your club level. This is a tweak. I did drop this in the video here, but it just snuck in on the edge. So the revised slider value on the notepad and in the commentary should get you right at the pin. 2 pulls over the bullseye here. Make sure that you do the same when you're adjusting your rings, otherwise you might be under adjusting. Hitting perfect there, and you can have a very good chance there with this nice bounce down with the Grizzly for an eagle. If you're enjoying the free content here and want to help support the channel, then you can do so in one of 3 ways. You can click the thanks button directly underneath the video, you can use the PayPal link in the description down below, or you can become a channel member as well. All support of the channel is greatly appreciated. Time to play a rough bump here. We're going to find position first, red ring touching the bunker at the P3 minimum distance line with our sniper. Then being able to look at the pin when we're adding our spin, so have that zoom in there. We're going to add 2 top spin, and it's going to be approximately 2.5 left spin. Might be a click or 2 out depending on your position, but try and get that red ring touching the bunker. Ball guide to the front of the cup in line with the pin. Make sure you're not short here. You need the tip of the ball guide touching the front of the cup. The adjustment is min plus 5, power 4 settings. Use sniper 10 numbers throughout this video, even if it's max value particularly important. Minimum value is always going to be the same, of course, but something to bear in mind. Always use sniper 10 numbers here, and we're dropping that very nicely for a hole in one on this par 3. On the drive here, we're going to set up with the quarterback at P3 max with the clear ring touching the rough on the left. Then we switch to our APOC and sniper bag and add spin. 5.8 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. Then we adjust max distance, 5% elevation here, max plus 5, power 3 settings. No need for any additional push-up or anything here because we're all finding our position with the quarterback 9 plus. So even if you've got APOC 4, you don't need to worry about that. 2 ball of curl to the left, so look at the tee, draw a line down and see where it would intersect the outer wall of the shot circle there for a reference. And we're hitting perfect, full overpower with a slow needle, and we're getting a consistent drive distance here around 360 yards. Second shot we're going to use landing position plus yards, but first we're adding spin, and that's going to be just under 2 top spin, about 1.8 top spin, and 3 bars side spin to the right. And then we're having our position here with the red ring touching the rough and the ball guide just short of the hole, pointing ever so slightly to the right hand side of the pin. Plus 3 with sniper 10 will be plus 5 with sniper level 9, and the yardage there, the slider for that value is going to be 78%, and it's 10% elevation. Use sniper 10 numbers, 2.5% per yard difference. So if you had plus 4 with sniper 10, you're going to play that 80% slider. Plus 2 will be 75% slider, and so on. Perfect ball away, bounces over very, very nicely. Second bounce before the green, and then we're rolling and dropping this one for a lovely albatross. Here we're going to set up with our spin added, 5.8 top spin and 3 left spin. And we want to here have the top of plus 10 with APOC 5 plus. With APOC 5 and 6 you'll have the clear ring touching the rough on the right. APOC 4 is going to set up at P3 max, and you'll have about 40% of the clear ring overlapping the rough. Max plus 10, power 3 settings, for me that is 6.1 rings, full over power. And then we're going with our curl, 1 ball of curl to the left. So look at the edge of the Kingmaker, line it up nicely with the outside wall of the adjustment ring, and then hit perfect. And this is going to roll very nicely down the fairway to set up a grizzly second shot for an attempt with for the eagle, 410 yards. We are going to add spin first here, and we're going with 1 bar of left spin only, and we want to set up within plus yards to have the ball guide short of the hole by about 2 green squares. Here you can see I offset to the left edge. I would like you to aim at the pin because I missed this one to the left. I didn't need the offset, but the adjustment is very good in terms of the slider value. Plus 5 with Grizzly 9 would be plus 8 with Grizzly 7 and 8, and that value is 92% slider, 20% elevation. Use Grizzly 9 numbers please, and make 2 pulls over the bullseye. Like I said, just tweak the aim at the pin rather than just offsetting to the left edge, and I think you're going to have a very good chance at the eagle. Very difficult and tough long par 4 here, so if you can get the drop with the grizzly, then it's going to be a very nice addition to your card. Like I said, aim at the pin, and that should have been in for the eagle. We're going to go with the Goliath here. Start with a basic ball, and we're going to add 4.5 backspin. Then we switch to either a Kingmaker or your Centurion or Kingslayer. Try and keep it below 8 miles per hour. If not, you may need to tweak the setup. You want the first bounce in the middle of the fringe, and the second bounce in the middle of that dark green square, just a little bit lower than the pin. Try and get that second bounce exactly in the middle of that dark green square. Those are your 2 references there. With your spin added, adding spin with a basic ball so we don't have any unwanted side spin. The adjustment here with the Goliath going to be max plus 30, power 3 settings. The reason I'm using the Goliath is because if you've got a low level grizzly, kind of 7 or 8, and even with a grizzly 9 in high winds you may pull into overpower, so I want to get rid of any risk of that, and that's why I'm using the Goliath. So max plus 30, power 3 settings, perfectly centered ball there, and we're going to bounce nicely on the fairway just before the green. Backspin grabs, and we sneak it in for a hole in 1. On this par 5 we're going to do no moving target with a power 3 ball and the APOC. Then we're switching to either a luminary or a precision luminary. Adding spin there, 5.8 top spin, 2 right spin. And then we're going to make our adjustment. Now, a power 5 ball is needed here. It will be tough with a berserker. I've not tested it, so if you want to use a berserker or you don't have any luminaries, then I would advise you to take a token first. Max plus 10, power 3 settings, 2 balls curl to the right, and try and hit perfect. A minor great right will still be fine. If you're using the APOC 4, after your adjustment you would need to push up 1.7 rings. You will have a shakier needle though, but we want to drive over 400 yards to be able to use our sniper. We are going to add spin first. It's going to be about 3 backspin, and then we're setting up here with the references as follows. Top of the yellow ring touching the rough line, ball guide, the edge of the ball guide, the right hand side of it is touching the left edge of the cup. Now, with a Sniper 9, you might be at max distance here. That's why you need to try and push the drive a little bit further. If you can cope with a shakier needle, then go with that. Give yourself a few more yards if you can. But for plus 20 landing position, we're going 84% slider, 0 elevation, power 5 numbers. If this shot isn't for you, then of course take your safe eagle, get a wood club with distance and just curl yourself round to the green from the fairway there with max right curl. But for the aggressive albatross, luminary is recommended. Thank you for watching this video on the North Carolina 9-hole cup. For more help and free guides, shot sharing and discussion points, join over 12,000 members including myself on our free Facebook group. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash. I look forward to interacting with you all there. Good luck in the tournament. See you soon. Bye for now.